What happens when the world's most controversial political figure sits across from one of the sharpest, most unflinching interviewers alive? What happens when questions dig deeper than press conferences, deeper than campaign speeches, deeper than slogans and rallies? This isn't just another interview. This isn't another soundbite war. This is a clash of two towering personalities. One determined to defend his legacy at all costs, the other unwilling to let him escape without facing the toughest truths. Tonight, we step into the studio of the Wendy Archive, the place where Donald J. Trump, the 45th President of the United States, sat down and walked out. This is the story of the interview that became a battle. The studio was smaller than the grand halls Trump was used to. No cheering crowds, no giant flags draped behind him, no chants of USA, USA. Just four walls, 3 cameras, a small crew, and Wendy Martinez. Wendy wasn't a household name like Anderson Cooper or Sean Hannity, but in the world of hard-hitting independent journalism, she was a force. Known for her relentless preparation, sharp tongue, and the ability to peel back even the toughest public figures layer by layer. She wasn't there to flatter, she wasn't there to debate. She was there to extract truth. Raw, uncomfortable, undeniable truth. And Trump? He came in expecting control. But tonight, control would slip away. The lights went hot. Cameras rolled. Mr. Trump, you've been called many things. A businessman, a president, a disruptor, even a threat to democracy. But when you strip away all the labels, how do you see yourself? Trump leaned back, smiling in his trademark way. Well, Wendy, I see myself as someone who gets things done. I built an empire. I ran this country. The results speak for themselves. People can say what they want, but at the end of the day, I deliver. It was classic Trump, confident, polished, and broad. But Wendy wasn't interested in surface-level answers. She leaned in. Results, Mr. Trump? Your presidency ended with America more divided than ever. Families torn apart, friends unable to speak to each other, neighbors turning into enemies. And then, January 6th, your supporters stormed the Capitol. Do you take responsibility for that? Trump's smile faltered just slightly. Look, those divisions existed long before me. I didn't create them. I exposed them. As for the Capitol, I told people to protest peacefully. You can't blame me for the actions of individuals. But Wendy pressed harder. You spent months telling Americans the election was stolen. Rally after rally, speech after speech. You planted that seed of anger, of betrayal. Can you honestly say you didn't see where that would lead? Trump's voice grew sharper. I said what I believed. Millions agreed with me. That's called free speech. You want me to lie? You want me to say something I didn't believe just to make people comfortable? That's not me. The air thickened. The crew shifted uneasily behind the cameras. But Wendy didn't blink. Mr. Trump, your entire brand is built on fighting. Fighting the media, fighting opponents, fighting investigations. But when you're alone, when the cameras are off, do you ever ask yourself if the fight is worth it? For a flicker, Trump's guard lowered. He looked away, almost reflective. No regrets, he said finally. I gave everything to this country. I don't sit around wondering if I should have been softer or nicer. That's not who I am. Wendy's eyes locked onto his. But that wasn't my question. I didn't ask about regrets. I asked if you ever let yourself be human. Do you ever reflect? Do you ever admit to yourself that maybe you got it wrong? Trump bristled. So now you're a psychologist. I'm authentic. What you see is what you get. Is it though? Because the businessman on The Apprentice, the president at rallies, the fighter in courtrooms, they're all versions of Donald Trump. Performances, personas. So tell me, when are you just Donald the man, not the brand? The tension was electric. Trump leaned forward, finger pointed. You don't know me. You don't know what it's like to have half the country worship you and the other half despise you. You're right, Wendy replied calm as stone. I don't know what that's like. But I do know when someone is being defensive instead of honest. And right now, that's you. Trump let out a bitter laugh. Of course I'm defensive. You're attacking me. I'm not attacking, I'm interviewing. If honest questions feel like attacks, maybe that says more about you than me. Wendy knew where to push next. Let's talk about your family. You've called yourself a family man, yet the world has seen scandals, affairs, lawsuits, estranged relationships. How do you reconcile the image you promote with the reality we all see? Trump's patience thinned. His voice hardened. Here we go, the hit job, tabloid garbage. I've been investigated more than anyone in history, and guess what? I'm still here, so bring it up. It won't change anything. I'm not trying to take you down. I'm trying to understand. Millions see you as a hero, millions as a villain. The truth is somewhere in between, but you won't let anyone see it. That's when Trump stood. The microphone tugged at his belt, cameras scrambled to keep him in frame. You know what, Wendy? I don't need this. This is just another ambush. An ambush would be asking questions you weren't prepared for. Everything I've asked is public record. If you can't handle this, how can you handle leading again? Trump's voice boomed across the small studio. Don't you dare question my ability to lead. Then why are you leaving? Wendy said calmly. For the first time, silence. Trump froze, torn between pride and vulnerability. Then something cracked. His voice softened, almost breaking. I'm tired. I'm tired of fighting, tired of defending myself. Every day I'm either a god or a monster, never just a man who tried his best. So yes, I question if it was worth it. I question if my kids will remember me as their father, or just as the man always in the news. Is that real enough for you? The studio fell still. For once, Donald Trump had laid bare something deeper, something raw. Wendy's eyes softened, but only for a second. That's the most honest thing you've said all night, she whispered. But if you feel that way, why keep running? Why not step back? The wall shot back up. Trump's face hardened again. Because I'm the only one who can fight. I can't walk away. Or maybe, she said slowly, you just can't let go. Because without the fight, you're not Donald Trump anymore. Trump's rage returned. We're done. He ripped off the microphone, storming out. The door slammed. The cameras lingered on Wendy. She sat composed, almost serene. Well, she said, facing the lens, Donald Trump came here promising a real conversation. But when things got real, he walked out. Make of that what you will. She leaned closer. This is the kind of accountability we should demand from our leaders, not just when the questions are easy, but especially when they're uncomfortable, because that's when you see who someone really is. The screen faded to black. The interview never aired in full on mainstream networks. Clips went viral instead. Donald Trump's storm-off became a trending moment. Some hailed Wendy as fearless. Others accused her of being unfair, biased, even cruel. But beyond the noise, one truth remained. For a brief, flickering moment, Donald Trump, the man who built walls around himself stronger than any political fortress, had cracked. And in that crack, America saw not the fighter, not the president, not the brand, but the man who could not escape being Donald Trump.